Hey everybody, Matthew here from MiniWarGaming.com. Been a little while since I did an open vault, like a month or two. So I want to just walk around and show you what's going on so you can see what's going on at the MiniWarGaming studios. We've got to start in the best place in the entire, country, which is the MiniWarGaming Forge. I know it says workshop, but we've got to change that to Forge. Maybe we should 3D print something for that. And so let's go take a look at what's going on in there. Flip the camera around. Hi James. So we've made some improvements to the Forge. We've added more shelving. More printers. If you follow us at our secondary channel, which is MWG Forge, you probably already know this because I posted an update video about that, but I'll give you a quick walk around. We've got some projects going on. For example, it's a mess here. Dave has actually been working with Gear Guts Studio, Gear Guts Mech Shop, I think it's called. They're the ones that make all those awesome orcs that you can 3D print or that they sell on their site. They're making like what's called Armored Bash, which is an upgrade thing. So you can buy like Walmart or whatever your cheap places, like toy cars, and then you just add all these little bits to it, and then he's actually creating a little game for it. Just something fun and simple. He made it with his kids. You can expect to hear about that in the next month or two. So we're just doing testing of that right now, and it's really cool. And then we're printing lots of Hexen Hills tiles. Of course, we love Hexen Hills, and we're now actually selling printed ones. So if you go to our shop at shop.miniwargaming.com, you can buy printed map packs because a lot of you don't have 3D printers, and even if you do, maybe are just getting into it, or you have a crappy one or something. And so there's been a lot of people asking for us to do this, and so we have all sorts of map packs, or you can actually custom build your own as well. Got our Prusas over here doing some tests. We're working on terrain for Legion Imperialis, so epic 30K. Talk more about that because let's keep talking about Hexen Hills just for a second more. So what we're doing right now, this is a little 12 pack card called the Arcane Atolls, and we're giving this away for free as a promotion for us starting to print these packs. And so, but because it takes time to print these, and we've only got 4 bamboo printers right now, and we're hoping to use this to raise funds to be able to buy more printers and become a proper print farm, we can only do so many of them because I think we can, in a 2-week period, we could print 80 of these. So I'm only going to make 80 of them available at miniwargaming.com/free tiles. miniwargaming.com/free tiles. Essentially, you go there. There's a coupon code you have to use, which is Hexton Free. It's all explained on that page, and you can get one for free. You have to pay for shipping and handling. We do ask to cover the shipping cost, but we'll pay for the time and the material cost. And then we hope to see you guys paint these up. So this one has like a little coastal village. It's actually a coastline. I know you can't really see it because it's not painted. There's a coastline going along here, and there's rivers, and there's a little shrine area. So it's like an adventure beginning kind of thing. It's part of the larger packs that we do sell. So you can check that out, miniwargaming.com/free tiles. Now, I'm super stoked about Legion Imperialis, and so we're partnering with couple companies, one of them being Wargame Forge. He's on My Mini Factory, and he sells all of this 6mm terrain. Now we scaled it up to 8mm, which is easy to do in 3D programs. And so and James has been airbrushing this, and we got an airbrush booth now going on. We got more terrain there, and as we go to one of the studios, you'll see we have even more. We're making, of course, I have to go big or go home, right? And so we're just printing and painting tons of this. So these aren't done being painted yet, but they're in the process. And James has even been working, because apparently he's got Blender skills, Blender being a 3D design program, and he's actually designing some little pieces of terrain as well that we'll be able to combine with this. So we'll combine this. There's another company, War Scenery, that we're printing some of their terrain, and then of course Games Workshop is coming out with theirs, so we'll have some really, really cool games. I want to do a campaign. I want to make a map with Hexton Hills and then have people battle in epic 30K. So what do you guys think of that? Let me know your thoughts. And let's keep going. Like I said, we've been busy. I'm sorry I haven't been posting update videos, but yeah, we've been busy. So let's go around the corner and head over to see what everybody else is up to. And then I want to show you some tyranids and some other terrain that I've been doing. So I know Josh is here. They're setting up games. Oh no, Josh is not here today. So there's Luca.
Hola.
Just doing an open vault. So Luca was having some problems with his friend, so he decided to bury the hatchet.
I did.
And he literally buried the hatchet in his foot.
I did. Quite literally. It was more effective than I thought.
Yeah, yeah.
But hey, bridges are built again.
Yeah, exactly. It's all under the bridge, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Luke is like Drax from Guardians of the Galaxy, where he doesn't understand that some things aren't meant to be taken literally. He's like, we should bury the hatchet. And you're like, okay, thunk into your foot. And you guys, what are you guys playing today?
We're doing a one incursion game, 1,000 points of Necrons against Orcs. So I'm trying to recreate like the beginning of a book series that I read a little bit ago, and not like strictly, but it's like loosely based off it.
Which book?
Reign, I believe, or is it Ruin? The first one's Ruin, I believe. Let me just double check here.
It's a 40K book series, you mean?
Yeah. It's just like it's a classic trope of like exiled prince trying to redeem himself.
Cool.
Sort of thing. But he's like a Necron overlord sent to the perimeter of his like dynasty essentially, to like no supplies, no support, effectively exiled. What you do doesn't matter. And then
he tries to build up an empire, essentially.
Correct, yeah. And he tries to, he's like, whoa, something's going on here. And then he catches wind of something kind of approaching. He goes back to the homeworld to try and, bury the hatchet, essentially, in a lot of ways. And
does he have some scars in his foot now, too?
He's got scars, that's for sure. And then, it's a whole, it flips. Then it just takes a different course from it. But the beginning of the story is the world he's trying to oversee is just constantly under harassment of orcs.
Oh, of course.
So we're fighting in the catacombs.
Introduce your opponent.
Oh, this is Dave. He's from Kingston, not too far away, 5 hours away. It's Ontario still.
Well, you can go 16 hours and still be in Ontario.
You could drive for over a day from this point. Still
still be in Ontario if you go the right direction. Hey, Dave, how's it going?
It's marvelous.
You're here with your 9-year-old, 10-year-old son, 9-year-old.
Almost 10.
Almost 10 next week.
And my wife.
And your wife. That's right.
And we stayed here we'd stay here 5 days, so we're here until Saturday morning.
Yeah, and you're played for 3 of those days, right?
Yes.
That's awesome. I know your son has been a good sport. Josh has had a lot of fun playing against him too. So
yeah, he's an excellent player.
Yeah.
That works for the phone, eh? That's kind of cool. I didn't realize that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I can't show you it because I can't.
I just realized, like, what's that hanging from your phone? Like,
it's the same microphone that we use on the cameras. Do you have it set up?
Not set up.
So yes, we recently got these DJI mics. We've replaced our fanny pack / huge setup because we discovered these. I actually discovered on Adepticon when Brandon, the Coomer, was there filming and he used them. And I'm like, they can't possibly sound as good as the $900 ones because these things are only, $300. And they do sound just as good.
They also help me realize that when I'm thinking and recording and looking at something while the opponent's doing something, I breathe heavily. So I got to wear the little fuzzy thing.
Just stop the breathing.
I never realized I did. I'm like, huh.
Yeah. So it has this little receiver as opposed to the huge one we had to put in a fanny pack. And then, that can clip into your phone or it can clip into a camera. It has different inputs, basically. So I have one connected to the phone. That's why you can hear me well and nobody else. Because I've got a mic and they do not.
Yeah.
They can still hear you, though. Don't worry.
Okay. Fair.
Okay, well, have fun in your game.
Okay.
Oh, all right. Continuing down. I know Steve has been working on reconfiguring the live studio, but we've also been having discussions about hiring more video editors and upping the quality of our battle reports. So I think it's time to do that. I don't have many details to tell you right now, so we'll just kind of leave it at that. You can talk about it in the comments if you so desire. So here is the rest of the Legion Imperialis terrain that we're working with. So all of these buildings, and the cool thing is we have ruined versions. He sells ruined versions of each building that he sells. And so we can actually have it that if you destroy a building, you can replace it with the ruined version. Like this is a damaged version of this. Now we actually have one of these at the right height. They basically sells them in all the different heights. So it's just like variations of the same thing. So like these two are the same building, obviously, just lots more. So this gets damaged, you replace it with that. It gets destroyed, you replace it with that, which I think is pretty gnarly because I love to see that kind of thing. And then we've got the terrain over here, the bigger stuff. That's actually from War Scenery. This is actually for 40K. It's supposed to be 28 millimeter. We found it to be a little small for 40K, and we scaled it up by like 25% or 10%, I can't remember. And then found out that it actually feels like the right scale for 8 millimeter, because this looks like an 8 millimeter factory, like a gigantic factory for, knights or something. And so we're going to be combining. So it turns out you can use regular 40K terrain and have it kind of look like it is meant for smaller scale as well, which is neat. So we got tons of it. Lots to get painted. Those are all the ruins in there. And more ruins over here. Lots of painting, right?
Yep.
Okay. And then in our B-roll room, I'm just going to turn on the light. I've been getting more tyranids. And I think I've already, maybe I haven't shown the tyranids from the starter boxes, the Leviathan boxes. I don't have those handy. So these are the next wave that Paul Chartrand has been painting. So we've got a Tyrannifex. This is my new color scheme for my new Hive fleet. So that's a Tyrannifex and a Turbogon. We've got some Hive Guard in there. And here's the real cool thing. So I know it's like on camera, so it's not going to be quite as obvious. But so you look at all these models and they blend nicely together. I actually painted this Swarm Lord and Old One Eye. So Paul did the hard work. I chose the color scheme. Paul did the hard work of developing the color scheme and deciding exactly which paints to use. And then he documented it all so that we can make sure that, because I want to build this up to like 25,000 points. But I don't want to make the same mistake that I did with the first one where we didn't have a document and so everything looks different. And I just basically did exactly what he said. And I'm really happy with the results because I'm just an okay painter. And I'm not trying to be one of those where it's like, oh, I'm just okay. But really, I just want everybody to compliment me. Like, I'm so ugly. No, you're not. You're beautiful. I don't want to be like that. I recognize where I'm good and where I'm not. And so I think I'm an okay painter. But using Paul's instructions, of which we're making a video about, by the way. I filmed with him for a whole day, and we're editing that down as much as we can. So he'll actually teach you how he did this color scheme. But it also is very instructive in just building color schemes and how you can like just make things look good with less steps. And I was able to paint them relatively quickly. I think the Swarm Lord took me about 4 hours to paint in total. So I'm quite happy with that. So I am going to be painting more for my army. I don't really want to paint lots of it. I just want to enjoy painting. And so I have that advantage here. I'm sorry that most of you don't. That I can, because the scale that we're at, we have to get painters to paint stuff for us. Otherwise we won't be able to keep up. And so, but I can just kind of grab one here, or the new Tyrannid stuff coming out, like the Norn Emissary and all that stuff. I'll definitely be nabbing some of that. I think this might, nope, that's not it. I thought maybe that was the rest of them. So, and just as a comparison, once again on camera, I know you're not going to see it quite as much. This Hive Tyrant was one of the first Tyrannid models I painted. I don't think it was the first, but it was one of the first. It's metal and everything. So it's not horrible. I think the teeth are picked out. The brain's got the blue on it. The wash is very blotchy, and I don't like how it's all gloss. And this is like 15, 16 years later. So, yeah. I do enjoy painting when I don't have to paint a million things and just kind of pick and choose what I'm going to paint. So I'm quite happy with the way it turned out. Okay, enough about that. And I think the last thing we're going to look at is in here. Well, hello.
That guy will make this guy out of...
Just doing an open vault.
Hi!
This is Steve. Steve, introduce your guest.
This is the little guy?
You don't remember his name? But it's his birthday next week, Steve.
Okay, it's Tommy.
It's Tommy.
I'm notorious for not remembering my guest names.
Yes, well, me too. That's why I told you to introduce him.
This feels bad. Remember that? I can't remember the one editor's name. We used to call him Captain America, but I can't remember his name. Do you know what I'm talking about? Old building years ago.
No.
He worked like
Oh!
something. He worked for like a year.
Oh.
He was super jacked. Doesn't matter. He put a compilation clip together. Remember we used to do tripod stuff?
Yes.
And we do introductions. It was a compilation of my intros being like this. Hey everybody, welcome back to the Warhammer 4000 Battle Report. Today I'm...
What's your name again?
Hey everybody, welcome back to a whole long
It's just
compilation of
like,
it.
just like 100 intros of Steve forgetting
To this
people's
day,
names.
I still do it.
And Tommy, you got a birthday next week, don't you?
Oh, for real?
Yeah. Yeah, actually, it has his birthday next
Your
week.
birthday present will be a loss.
Yeah. Steve will teach you how to become a better player. That's his present to you.
I got a 6-inch advance on my first dice roll.
That's awesome.
It's not awesome for me.
You're playing. What are you playing? It looks like Imperial Guard versus Night Lords. No, not Lords. Chaos Space Marines. I know it's Night Lords yesterday, but that was what you were against. So, and this is your dad's Chaos Space Marines.
Yes.
Because then you played the Red Wolves, which are your Space Wolves, the other games. So you guys could look forward to all of these awesome games. Yes. Do you guys want to be on camera?
Oh, sure.
No, you're good. Okay.
I'm fine. No,
All right. Introduce yourself and what was going on this week with you?
I was here for an Apocalypse game.
Oh, that's right. You played Ascari for 2 days.
Yes, and it was awesome. And if I have my way, I will be back and we'll be playing more Apocalypse.
Now I know you're from the South, but where from?
Birmingham, Alabama.
Alabama. Yeah, it's not like you definitely sound like
Why
you're
does
from.
the accent only come out when you say Birmingham, Alabama?
I don't know. But yes, sir, I'm from the Deep South, and I'm so happy to be here, and I had a great game, and
Yeah, you
Oh,
guys
just
played, what was
great
it,
hosts.
400 power, which is like a 4,000 or 5,000 point game kind of thing?
Yes, sir.
That's awesome.
The
Yeah,
actual Apocalypse game.
yeah, like actually Apocalypse rules, not just a big game of
All about
40K.
that. It's such a good game system.
It is. I really wish it took off more because
so do I.
it's solid. I remember playing it a few times being like, this is a great game. Like, even if you just scaled it down to a 1,500 point game and just had like 2 or 3 detachments that were going back and forth. And
It was great fun.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I don't want to spoil anything, but it came down to the wire.
Well,
It was a great game, and I hope y'all enjoy it.
awesome. Okay, well, I'll leave you guys to your game.
No, I need more time.
No.
More time.
More time?
More time.
More time.
More time.
Somebody say more time?
Yeah, more
More
time.
time.
All right, well, we're going to leave now. Bye. Okay. I think that's all that's really going on. Well, don't get me around. There's a lot more going on. I know that they just, all the Ravish Star stuff is finally on the boats, which is a huge deal because it's finally getting shipped out. So we're at that next stage of waiting for the boats to get to the distribution centers so they can go out. Oh, I've got so many projects I'm working on. And so you can look forward to that. Playing my Tyranids for the first time tomorrow, my new Tyranids tomorrow. And so it'll just be a regular battle report, but you can look forward to that in the next 2 or 3 weeks, I guess. Anyways, that's all I got going on. So I hope that you enjoyed this. Happy wargaming.